Hello. So if you've been following the AI world, I'm sure you've realized that AI is moving so quickly. It's changing month over month. And in fact, even if you're an AI developer, it's so hard to keep up with everything. Since the release of ChatGPT, which probably was around 2, maybe 3 years ago, everything has just sort of like taken off. And every couple of months, you've got a new tool, a new tool set, a new workflow. And all these sort of Gen AI tools are just making everything much more efficient, and we're able to do so much more, so much quickly. But when it comes to AI in drone data, how do you actually use AI? And what are the top applications that we're seeing for AI in drones? We'll have a look in this video. Hey everyone, I'm Varun from Hammer Missions, and in this particular video, we're going to go through the top 5 applications that we're seeing when it comes to using AI with drone data. Let's have a look. So application number 1 is essentially hail damage. So you can now use AI to actually accurately find hail damage on roofs and properties, whether residential or commercial, and then essentially quantify the extent of damage on a property. This is quite a big application because if you think about it, hail damage is something that affects lots and lots of properties. And if you have an AI algorithm that can actually go in and sort of scout for all these different areas of damage, that saves you multiple hours, hundreds of hours when you combine all the different people involved in ensuring that you've got all the right hail damage documented. I think where the technique is at today, it works much better for bigger hail than small hail, just because of the fact that the resolution of the data needs to be super high for you to be able to pick up really small hail damage. And I think that problem is going to get solved as drones are now flying closer, the cameras are getting better, and the resolution you can get with drones is so much better as well. But hail damage seems to be one of the big applications that you've got to keep an eye on. Number 2, we've got essentially cracks, spalls, and all kinds of different structural issues. So if you think about facades and if you think about properties, a lot of them have issues that form over time. A lot of them show up as cracks and spalls and all sorts of different issues on the facade and the building exterior. And so whether or not these are weather-related damages, you can essentially find different types of issues on these properties, and you can actually now use AI to be able to find all the cracks, find all the spalls, and then give you a quantification of how much repair work needs to be done on a specific property, which can be really powerful because if you think about it, a lot of these properties are inaccessible, and even if you have all the drone imagery, you're not really going to go through thousands of drone images to be able to find all the cracks and spalls. And if you do find all of them as well, because of all the overlapping images, it can be a nightmare to try and understand whether you have 1 spall or 5 spalls, you have 1 crack or 5 cracks. And so AI is perfect for this, where it can actually help you find cracks and spalls across the entire property. Number 3 is missing roof shingles or tiles. So essentially, roofs go through, wear and tear, and over time, what we find is that you've got missing shingles, missing roof tiles, and this is another application where AI can be very effective. I would say slightly less effective than some of the other applications we've talked about, because in the other application, what AI is doing is that it's trying to find a known pattern, but missing roof tiles can be one of those things where it's hard to know what that pattern looks like because every roof is slightly different, and also the absence of something as opposed to the presence of something can be slightly harder to detect. However, it's another great application for AI to be able to find those missing shingles, find those missing tiles, that can be repaired, and then we can make our properties much more safe. Application number 4, you've got essentially the ability to be able to find all skylights, doors, and windows. So in this particular video, what we were actually doing, just sort of like a heads up, is that we're looking at applications of AI with drone data on buildings. There are applications of AI on other things that we haven't included in this video, but when we think about buildings, one of the other things that comes up is essentially being able to accurately understand doors and windows and panels on a particular property. This can be really useful if you're trying to understand what is the sealant replacement cost. So if you're trying to replace the sealant on doors and windows because of any kind of leak issues or any kind of anomalies that have been picked up, you can very accurately and quickly identify how many windows are on a specific property, and also what is the total measurements of all of those windows and properties that will be required. And number 5 is actually progress tracking. So essentially, number 5 is saying, well, you've got sites that change. This could be construction sites, this could be buildings, this could be PV sites. Everything is prone to change, nothing is static. The only constant is actually change. So what you've got is the ability to be able to use AI to be able to discern, does your building or your site actually look the same, or has it changed? And this is really powerful, because if it can tell you the change on site, you can actually act on it. It could be a new crack has shown up, or it could be repairs have been done on a particular property and you want to verify the repairs have been done in the right place. And so reviewing all that data and flagging any anomalies, flagging any areas that are of interest can be really powerful. And so therefore that is the number 5 application that we're seeing with AI. Okay, so well, this was a very quick sort of list going through some of the applications with AI. AI isn't a magic pill. It doesn't work for every single project, but when it does work, it saves thousands, if not tens of thousands of hours when you look at multiple properties and multiple portfolios of businesses. So do bear in mind that AI is a great tool to have in your pocket, and being able to utilize it and leverage it in the right way is what creates those efficiencies and makes drone data more helpful. So thanks so much for watching. If you have seen other AI applications for drones that we haven't covered here because we were so building specific, do leave a comment in the comments box below in terms of some of the things that you've seen on your side. We'd love to hear what kind of applications you're sort of cooking with AI, and we'd love to kind of be a part of it. Thanks so much for listening. We'll see you in the next video at Hammer Missions.